Oh, there we go. What now? And that's very Italian of me to move my ends. It's just like, I don't know. People say that an Italian without end gestures is like mute. So, you see me moving. Anyhow, today's topic is one of my favorite. I think it might be my favorite, and it's playtime. Playtime. So, we talked about entertainment the last week. And so I've been looking the etymology of play because it is quite different from entertaining. So I'm going to read it to you so you kind of know. So it comes from Latin, jocus, and it means both to celebrate, to do a joyful activity, but it also relates to daytime. So something you do during the daytime. Um, so what is play? What is game? Right? In English, we have two ways of describing this moment, and so there is like a toy, which is a physical object, like whatever that you play with, and then there is a game that is like a match. So the game of chess, for example, it's like a challenge, a match that you have. And so play is any activity. I just want to make it clear. I know you all know, but I just want us to be on the same page about what play is. So a play is any activity that is freely chosen, um, to which children or adults dedicate themselves, without any goal in mind than joy and entertaining themselves, like having a good time. And in the meanwhile, you develop physical, manual, mental skills. Okay. And I know it's getting translated, but in English, we also use play to refer to like recitate, so to act, like we play, like playing pretend, like, you know, and then to operate a musical instrument, so you play. So in all cases, play is something that calls upon an action. And it's different from entertaining because the concept of time is non-existent. Time is not in the equation. Result is not in the equation. It's a training in motion. Okay. So what have you learned from your parents about playing? And it's going to be different for all of us, but we have been at one point or another exposed to play. And then what do you know about playing? What does playing means to you? And also, what will you expose kids in your life in regard to playing? It's kind of like with this conscious parent, conscious kid conversation, we're really delving into the past, the present, and the future as well. So I kind of bring up parents, you as a kid or as an adult, and then next, you know. So it's quite interesting. We all have different. Playing is one of the few areas in our life, hopefully along with the sense of humor, where we don't make ourselves as wrong, because it's one of the area where we're allowed to explore and experiment, which I love. I think like exploring and experiment might be my favorite verbs of all time. It's like, and it doesn't mean anything. And it's really a moment where you are willing to receive and interact with all molecules and all possibilities. And there might be rules that you agreed upon, but there is also the willingness to change them and stop at any time without making you wrong. And what I've been looking at with my children is how playing really train us in many different ways accepted by this reality. Like, I don't know, I was losing badly at chess with my elder son yesterday. And you develop some skills, but there is also the willingness to tap into the infinite being that you truly be and access all resources and all possibilities that we have. In fact, I'm going to tell you this little story. I'm very proud of myself. I suck at chess. I don't even know the moves. I mean, I do, but I suck at chess. And my eldest son is a very good player. And we were playing outdoor. And at one point, a group of friends just strolled by, and they were on my side of the road because it's a giant chess place, you know, those big chesses, like tall chesses. And so my son was winning, and he said, oh, it's going to be checkmate in 2 move maximum. And I wanted to play, but I really didn't know the rules, and I didn't have as many resources, as many mental resources. And so the people that passed by stopped and helped me out. And they were all professional chess players. So I had like 7 people helping me out. And we were commenting on that, because my son was like, you don't know anything, but you make it work. You access some resources that you didn't know you had. And I was like, yeah, I'm adorable. Like that's my skill for the chess, because I don't know the rules. and that's one thing. I mean, that's just a silly example, but when we're playing, the willingness to access all possibilities and just like be the resourceful, magnificent being that you be come into play way more. There is no result, and there is no meaning attached. Like, you win or you lose, something that comes later in life. The idea of being a good player means that you're valuable. Being a bad player means that you're not. So, I mean, I know that I could talk for like 200 hours about playing. I love it. I think it's one of the most often forgotten resources and capacities, and oh my gosh, joyful, active choices that we can make daily, that as adults we give up. So everywhere that you have decided being an adult is and isn't, and all the permissions, wow, and all the space that you allow yourself or not as an adult, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate that? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and buckle, choice, boys, poets, and beyond. I'm gonna shut up because I know there is a question. I'd like to just give you the mic, because yeah. Aisun is ready. She's like, me, yeah, I got a question.
Oh, you're waiting for me. I thought that was someone else.
No, it's you. Are you so welcome?
Okay, thank you. Okay, I have many questions actually. I have 2 children. One of them is 7, and I have a daughter, and she's 7. Mm-hmm. And my elder is a son. My son is the elder one, and he's 8.5. Mm-hmm. And this is about playing, and my son is super competitive, and he has always been that way. And if he doesn't win, even in the middle of the game, he freaks out, and he begins to fight with everyone or throws the game away, and he gets so mad and angry. And if he decides that he cannot win, he prefers not to play.
Hmm.
So what would you suggest?
Are you judging that?
No, no, not really.
Does it work for you to, let's say that you're playing, I don't know, like a card game or something like that? Does it work to have him leave at any time?
For him to leave.
Are you okay for him to leave at any time?
Not really, because I want it to be a fun time for all of us, to
Cool.
have with them, to I don't know, to have a good time, to enjoy
Sure.
our time together.
So, are you willing to be the dominant energy when you set up for a game night, say? I love she froze. Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, one thing that I have been telling my kids, I have three kids, in the competitive phases of their game situation is, well, in any time really, is that I teach people around me how to treat me. And that goes for anyone in my life. That goes for a friend, that goes for a client, that goes for my kids, and that goes for my husband and my family. So, for example, and that is, and I guess it might be a similar situation. Like for me, if I set up a game and we're like about to play,
Mhm.
we kind of all know that someone is going to win, someone is going to lose. We
Yeah.
actually play a game, a card game that is called the president. So you have the president, the vice president, and then you have the no count, which is I don't know how many players, and then you got asshole and vice asshole. So I mean, if you lose, like you're an asshole, basically. You know, it's not like very nice to. It's not a very nice position, not a nice ranking. Nobody wants to be that. Um, but so we agree upon there's going to be a winner, there's going to be a loser, and it just shows this moment in time with many factors like ability, but luck, how tired we are, how much we feel like playing, because sometimes I don't feel like playing, but I play anyhow because it's, you know. So so for example, that's the thing that I've been saying. I gave my kids, I do give continuously my kids a reminder, like an instruction manual of how they're allowed to treat me and how it's not going to work, because I'm not taking shit from anyone, even from them. Actually, even more from them, because I would like them to grow as kind adults that I like to have around me. So, like for example, throwing tantrums doesn't work shit. Like with me, it doesn't work. Like, and it's quite creepy. We could actually do the test. Like, I'm going to tell you the sentence in Italian. So we say tantrums in Italian is capricci. So one thing that I have Pavlovianly trained my kids is the kids who do tantrums do not obtain anything. Okay. So if I say my kid, there's one of my kids like, oh, he's on the floor. Anyhow, there's one of my kid back there. It's very big, so it was weird not seeing it. So they know if I say the kids who do tantrums, they end the sentence for me, and they say do not get anything, and I'm like, yeah, that's how it goes. Okay. I mean, it might look like it's a strict conversation, but I like to be very clear on how we're going to engage in an activity, like that there's going to be respect, for example. And like I'm just suggesting that because I just give my kids an instruction manual and I recall them that there are guidelines that we're agreeing upon. So for example, if you're losing,
Yeah.
like you want to throw the chessboard on the air, because for me it's like, okay, now you pick up all this stuff, you put it in order, and I'm not going to play with you because I don't do that. Okay, so that's one thing you were saying, Aisun, because I saw that you were like, yeah, but
Yeah, I forgot.
and what would it take for you to
Oh,
allow him to be as
I remember.
competitive as it truly be? What gift is that you might have not acknowledged? By the way, just go, but just wanted to throw it in there.
Thank you. Do you remind them the rules? Do you give them the instructions each time before you play?
Not every time, but like one thing that I love that Gary Douglas taught me is when my kids are not being them. So when they're being another version of themselves, and I got my second kid right now. Like my first kid is exiting teen ages, yeah. Even though he's like 14, but he's like way more mature. Like he's going out of the puberty teenage phase, and the second one is getting in. So interesting. And so one thing that Gary Douglas does is when he's giving his kids names when they're not being themselves. So for example, my second kid, his name is Martin.
Yeah.
And he used to be like very complaining, like just moaning and complaining. So I gave him another name. When he was doing that behavior, I was calling him Martento, which sound like moaning Martin Lamento, you know? And he hated that. He was like, I'm not Martento. And I was like, yeah, but I don't see Martin. There's just this complaining asshole that I just don't like to be around. So when you're ready to be happy and when you're ready to be you, and when Martin is ready to come out, God, please come. But otherwise, I'm not, I just, no, it won't work. So this is one thing that I have been doing that I saw working amazingly, because it was not saying like you're being mean or you're being bad boy or stuff like this, but it was just like getting energetically the behavior and sometimes the blackmail that they were doing and be like, yeah, that's, no, it's not going to work with me. Like,
Actually, work for them either, because when they do that, we stop playing anyway.
so is that what they're asking for?
No, he just wants to win.
Are you willing to let him out of the game and keep on playing with your husband and your daughter?
Yeah,
Cool.
we do that.
And
so go on, keep going. Keep
no, I
doing that.
wonder what would you like to be, and like what would you like to have different?
I would like to have a pleasant game night.
So
Every
do you think that he's not having a pleasant night just because he's throwing a tantrum?
yeah.
Okay. Is that right?
No.
Okay. So is he creating the tantrum as an excuse to leave? Is he creating the tantrum in order to get attention?
Yeah, probably.
Cool. Have you done the foundation class,
Yeah.
Aizen?
Yeah.
Then you can try with the energy flows.
Okay. Thank you.
And what if it's not wrong? Like what if any behavior is again play, like a possibility that kids get to act and to see how far they can push themselves, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And how does it get even better? Like, I mean, as parents, we kind of are the one that do uh, like kind of set the limits on whatever. I recall that I was passionate about swear words as a kid because I thought that they were having a very big effect. Like if you said like shit, people would be like, like, you don't say shit. I mean, and so I loved them. I was like ready to drop the bomb anytime. I just wanted to see how it landed in the adult universe. I was like, eck, no big reaction. I was like, eck is not a good one. Shit. And everybody was like, what have you said? And I was like, oh, shit is good. Like, oh, good. I'm gonna, notes to self. This is a good swear word. So, and this is one, I mean, we're not going to talk about it too much, but we're going to be talking about this more in, following conversation. But like giving an instruction manual is such a gift to kids because it allows them to know that nothing is forbidden and there is a contextual reality that they might want to use to their advantage rather than being at the effect of it. So again, regarding swear words, I remember this kid that you cannot see because he's on the floor. When I would say a swear words, he would ask me, so is that a home swear word, a car swear word, or a school swear word? So car was the worst. Home was, somewhat in between. And then school was like no swear words. It was like a very polite and polished version of disappointment. And he was very small when he made that distinction. And I was like, that is very smart. Yes, what will create more. And you can disrupt this anytime, and you can mix them up, but you know what, that you will create a point of view in other people's universe just by being, by your presence, by your aspects. How would you like to turn that to your advantage? Because you can be the scandal in the room, and you can go to a gala and be, I don't know, with your ripped jeans and a lot of piercings and, I don't know, burping and drinking beer. Or you can, I don't know, go with that and be the intriguing, charming young man that you truly be. And just letting them know that everything is fine. They can explore, they can experiment, and people will have a point of view, will have a projection. How do they turn that to their advantage? And everything that brings up or bring down, can we destroy and uncreate that? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and puckle, nine shorts, boys, poets, and beyond. And we have been, as kids, exposed to so many things regarding playtime, regarding entertainment, regarding what is possible and what is not, and when it's appropriate and when it's not appropriate anymore. We might want to destroy and uncreate all of that, because limitation for an infinite being, not really our color. So, oh gosh, we went beyond the 20 minutes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aisun, for your question.
Thank you, Shara.
And oh God, that's it. I mean, we did it. Thank you so much for jumping on. And next topic is going to be a surprise because I don't recall it. So yes, we will see you next Monday, 7 p.m. again. Thank you, good ladies, for translating. And thank you all for being on.